poppin'? My name is Dukhed, and today I'd like to discuss what would I do to get the Battlefield franchise back on track. So, like, let's say hypothetically I was given control of the Battlefield franchise. So, like, all those motherfuckers that did all that nonsense at Battlefield 2042 with Battlefield 2042, they're fired. I take their positions, right? What would I do to get this franchise back on track? So, I'm going to be operating under the assumption that during the current Battlefield game's life cycle, they are working on the next Battlefield game, because that's generally how it works. Generally, they take a smaller team, they work on a DLC, and then they take a larger team and they work on the next Battlefield game. That's generally how it works, to my understanding. So, during Battlefield 2042's life cycle, I would say, okay, well, this game's a fucking goddamn failure. Fuck this game. I would scrap the new game. Whatever new game we're working on, get that shit up out of here. You shut y'all asses up. This is what I would do. I would take Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 and do a 1-to-1 remaster of both of those games. 1-to-1 remaster. So no goofy ass specialists, no fucking added flavor, added touch of what I think is good, whatever the devs think is. No, a 1-to-1 remaster of those games, because those are two generally agreed upon games to be held in like the highest esteem in terms of the best Battlefield games. Generally speaking, whenever you ask somebody what their favorite Battlefield game is, they'll generally speaking say either BF3 or BF4. They'll say that those are the best, right? So those are the games I would remaster, and I would have an entire cycle. So those remastered games would have come out in, let's say, 2024, right? Because remastering game is easy. All you have to do is update the fucking graphics. That's all you have to do. Like, you're just copying and pasting. So that would have come out this year, and this would be like a 2 or 3 year life cycle. And I would release the DLC as such. So like, the game wouldn't release with the DLCs already in there. The DLCs will release in regular increments, right? Since it's like a 2 or 3 year life cycle, I'd release like the Battlefield 3 DLCs first, and then I release the Battlefield 4 DLCs, right? So during that time, since this is fucking easy, I don't have to do any work, it's just remaster. During that time, I'm going to make my fucking development team, I'm going to put them through the goddamn grinder. Y'all are going to go back to previous successful Battlefields, and you're going to take notes on the highlights of those games, and you're going to come back to me with the shit. So like for example, just off the cuff, off the top of my head, I'm going to start with Bad Company 2. If I start with Bad Company 2, of course, the dynamic destruction. Destruction in Bad Company 2 is second to none. Bad Company 2's destruction is amazing. Moving on to Battlefield 3, I would take the vehicle play, and I would take the map design philosophy. I mean, really, to be honest, Battlefield 3 is like basically a perfect Battlefield game. So I would pretty much take everything, but like I don't want to say take everything, because I want to do highlights from all the Battlefield games. So if I'm taking anything, any few things from Battlefield 3, it would be the vehicle play and the map design philosophy. Moving on to Battlefield 4, I would take the weapon customization and the balancing, right? Weapon customization and balancing were really, really, really good in Battlefield 4, right? Very, very good. Moving on to Battlefield Hardline, I would probably take the fact that you can get like supplies off of your soldiers. If like, say for example, your teammates aren't dropping health and ammo, you can just take them off their bodies, right? You can just take them off of them while they're still fighting, or whatever the fuck. That's the feature I would take from Battlefield Hardline. Moving on, and the camo system in Hardline was pretty good. You know, getting the certain amount of kills to get the gold weapon, certain amount of kills to get the platinum weapon. That was actually a pretty good camo system in Battlefield Hardline. Moving on to Battlefield 1. Easy. The fucking atmosphere. The atmosphere in Battlefield 1 is second to none. Second to none. It's actually one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen in gaming. Second to none atmosphere. Atmosphere was amazing in Battlefield 1. I'll take the atmosphere. Battlefield 5, I would take the movement, I would take the gunplay, and I would take the character customization. Those three things in Battlefield 5 were actually pretty good. Genuinely speaking, in Battlefield 2042, I would take fucking nothing from that game. That game was garbage. All of it, the entire thing was garbage. Garbage. I can't think of any. I'm not trying to hate. I can't think of any one thing that is really good from Battlefield 2042 that I would take, because all the Battlefields in the past did what Battlefield 2042 did way fucking better. Way better. All right. And I would make, and while this 2-3 year life cycle of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 remaster, let's call it Battlefield Legacy. while this 2 or 3 year life cycle of Battlefield Legacy is going on, with me just releasing already finished DLCs that were already done in the past, we're gonna be mixing all those fucking ingredients. We're gonna be mixing all those highlights into a really, really fucking good Battlefield game. That is what I would do. That is the safest thing to do to get Battlefield back on track. Alright? Because what you'll do, you'll keep the hype for your game by releasing BF3 and BF4, which will bring back players and would create new players because there will be buzz around BF3 and BF4. Also, the FPS genre right now is absolutely garbage. So, releasing a BF3 and a BF4 over again, yeah, that's going to capture a lot of goddamn people. Alright? So, I would give myself time. I wouldn't have to be rushed or anything. I could take my time coming out with this shit. Because while my community is engorging themselves on Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, I'm just going to be sitting back fucking cooking. Getting ready to release some fire. Alright? That's what I would do. And a few minor things. The music would have to be way better. Because 2042's music wasn't it. BF3, BF4, BF5, BF1, back on. Basically every Battlefield that came before 2042, we need that music back. Alright? And the way we use the music would have to be Battlefield 1 style and Battlefield 5 style, where you have like music playing at the end of the round and it's like epic. It's an epic feel to it. Right? So that's what I would do to get the Battlefield franchise back on track. In terms of the marketing, I'm going to market this shit to Battlefield fans. Let me explain what I mean by that. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. I am not going to market this game towards fucking virtue signaling ass goddamn journalists who won't play my game. They'll only try and take notes on how like diverse my fucking game is and see if I have inclusivity and nonsense and just talking points. I'm not going to market it towards them. I'm marketing this shit to the gamers who have been playing my game. All right? So that means, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody's lifestyle. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not going to be saying, oh my God, look at us. We have gender neutral soldiers in the game. I'm not going to do that, bro. I don't want any controversies with my game. I don't want anyone sharing anything like, oh, look at these virtue signaling bastards. I'm not trying to do that. I just want a regular ass fucking game. Regular ass marketing for a regular ass game. I don't want any controversies. I'm not going to try and pander to women. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be women in my game. Obviously, there can be women in my game. Like, for example, the Battlefield 1 In the Name of the Czar, that is how you implement women into a war game. That right there, the women were fucking badass. Like, you didn't even see it. You didn't even fucking see it. That is how you implement women. You don't do it like Battlefield 5 did, where they're obviously props, basically, for check marks for inclusivity. You don't do it like that. You gotta market it like In the Name of the Czar. Alright? So that is how I'm going to market my game. I'm marketing it to the Battlefield fans. And there's not a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So there's not going to be any controversies. I'm not going to do any virtue signaling nonsense. We just going to market this game. And we're going to basically suck off everything Battlefield. We're going to basically suck off the Battlefield community. We're going to suck off Battlefield nostalgia. We're going to put 10,000 Ronda Zooks in the goddamn trailer. Right? That's what people seem to like. That's what Battlefield 2042 trailer did, which is why people thought that Battlefield 2042 was going to be good, because they're basically sucking off the Battlefield community and sucking off everything they like. That is what we're going to do with our marketing. We're going to suck off Battlefield and what makes Battlefield great. That's what we're going to do. All right? All right. Now, the question is, are they like going back and seeing the highlights of all the Battlefield games and implementing those design philosophies in the new Battlefield game? If I were a betting man, I would say they weren't. If I were a fucking betting man. All right? I hope they are. I mean, we have Vince Zampella now. He's an intelligent person. He's smart enough to know that you can't fucking this fucking direction they've been going in. We can't do that shit anymore. All right? Well, you know, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What would you do to fix Battlefield? How would you go about it? Anyway, I am out this bitch. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Go on.